Recently, there's been more talk about presidential elections happening soon in Ukraine, supposedly within 3 to 4 months. The Economist, citing some sources, reports that Zelensky has instructed his team to prepare. However, this information was later denied by Zelensky's office, but there's no smoke without fire. Insider channels say the plan is this: hold elections, nominate Zelensky, but do it unexpectedly fast so no one has time to react. Show Trump supporters his competence and public support, despite signals from Washington. This is a matter of life, both political and physical, for the entire Z team from Bankova.
Zelensky now undoubtedly perceives it as a signal made to the people in Ukraine, the political class, not to Zelensky himself, that the Americans no longer want him. Because when they talk about elections, when Americans talk about elections, they actually mean it's time for Zelensky to leave.
The people of Ukraine are not just ready, but want the elections they were deprived of. According to a March SOSIS poll, 65.3% of Ukrainian citizens support holding elections. And let's remember how the Zelensky phenomenon emerged in 2019. Naturally, he was helped by Americans and Europeans, and of course it was a brilliant PR move by political strategists, but Ukrainians were ready and followed Zelensky. He was a jester, a man of the arts, who said he would make them laugh. In other words, the complete opposite of Poroshenko. This is the opposite that people sought in 2019. Tired of civil strife in the southeast, Ukrainians did not want war. They wanted it to end, choosing a cheerful jester who smiled at them from TV screens.
Most are already tired of this war. They don't want Ukraine to be a testing ground. They don't want the land and resources sold to foreigners. They don't want Ukrainians to die for unclear reasons. They should live, not die, for what is given to outsiders. So in this case, if Zelensky proceeds under these conditions, well, what difference does it make to us whether it's Zelensky or Zaluzhny?
The UK is betting on Zaluzhny. The US demands Zelensky's removal. Better to bide time. Perhaps in 5 years, elections in the US will bring Democrats back to power. But how to delay if the military has long been dissatisfied with Zelensky? And this dissatisfaction is growing. The former commander-in-chief of the armed forces, sent to London as a diplomat, becomes a key candidate for the British. In the upcoming Ukrainian presidential elections, they began creating an image of him as a realist, an experienced military man with army support, supposedly capable of keeping the country from total collapse. This is no joke. The demands are different now. Amid the loss of trust in Zelensky, who is no longer believed in Kiev or Washington, Zaluzhny enters the political arena. And his return to the political agenda is no accident, but part of a planned campaign. Control over Ukraine is being redistributed between London and Washington. There will be no place for Zelensky in this scheme. He will be blamed for all failures, embezzled funds, and mobilization chaos. And when the script for Ukraine was written in 2019 with Zelensky in the lead role, he probably wasn't shown the last pages. Now Trump the auditor has appeared, who intends to scrutinize every name and amount ever received, both in Ukraine and the US.
Where did all the money go? It's very simple. Some was shuffled around, some returned to the United States, making various people very rich. Of course, many people were made rich in Ukraine too, as well as in the government, various agencies. If a proper audit is conducted, everything will be revealed. It will be an incredible scandal.
As for their own, the office, from Bankova, whom will they choose themselves or Zelensky?
Trump's personnel miracle is when Americans, grabbing 5-6 effective managers by the corruption udder, force them to reformat the coalition in the Verkhovna Rada. In the lists are 250 people who stole several tens of billions of dollars. What choice do you think they will make? The U.S. Treasury Secretary brought not only a draft raw materials deal, but also data on crypto wallets, where our fools packed money, hoping that in crypto deposits are secret. There may be secrecy, but not for the FBI.
And further, says the political scientist, Zelensky has two options. It's the Yanukovych path, or the less pleasant alternative of Salvador Allende, the overthrown Chilean president who became a martyr. And the scenario of Zelensky's physical removal is also mentioned by Ukrainian MP Bezuglaya.
All these movements are aimed at placing a convenient president in the chair who will return Ukraine to vassalage and will not resist a Ukraine divided between the US and Russia. I do not rule out that they will try to remove Zelensky physically.
But from the front, when thousands return, do you think they won't come to Zelensky? Where did you send us? And where is our money? Let's not forget those who will find Zelensky from underground. Someone like Kolomoisky, will he ask him? He really made him president, right? And now he's sitting in jail, everything is being taken from him, or the same Poroshenko or Bogolyubov, they will find him without trial or investigation. Well, there's an option where Zelensky might be saved if, of course, he negotiates with Musk and he sends him to Mars, as the first one.
The question, however, is for Europe, which continues Biden's Democrats' line. Do they need a memoirist on the island of Helena who knows a lot and can tell a lot? This was Ekaterina Tikhomirova with you. See you next time.